walk, and this is what's happened. It caused me a lot of inconvenience for a few months.
It's Nicola's story. The solicitor who handled her case is Mike Massen. Good morning.
Good morning, Liz.
From Cohen Kramer in Leeds. Is Nicola's story fairly typical then?
It's typical in some respects, as if people have tripping accidents, they can be quite nasty. Very rarely life-threatening, but if you break your ankle, it's going to be painful. And because it tends to be the lower limbs, it leads to mobility, time off work. Also quite typical of Nicola's story was the fight put up by Leeds City Council when it came to defending the claim.
How much did she get?
I'd rather not say client confidentiality if Nicola had chosen to tell you.
But she did win.
She did win, yes.
She got some money.
She got some money, yes.
In the thousands, without being specific?
In the thousands, but we're certainly not talking a retirement pot. It was she was off work for 3 months and it was the inconvenience. So we recovered the lost income for her and additional compensation for the pain and suffering. And that was
no win, no fee?
Well, yes.
So she won, so you made your money. That's what you do, you're a lawyer.
Well, yes, it's a living, yeah.
In Bradford, that figure's gone up hugely. Mm-hmm. You don't think there is a compo culture, do you?
I think people are making compensation claims, as is their right. To describe it as a culture seems to imply that there's a lot of fake claims going on and people are deliberately throwing themselves to the pavement to make claims.
And isn't that happening?
No, it's not really. Solicitors, as I say, no win, no fee. If we don't win, we don't get paid. So we won't take on a claim if we suspect that it's...
But there must be enough claims that you can make your living on.
Well, yes, but...
So you make the case work if you feel it's evidenced properly.
Yes, we will do a good job for our clients, but I really can't see that being a criticism. If someone comes to us and has had an accident, we will gather together the evidence to support their claim.
Is it a difficult process legally? You say Leeds City Council fought Nicola's case, for example.
Tripping and slipping claims are... I'm not entirely sure you're aware how such claims work. But basically, under the Highways Act, the council... have an obligation to maintain the highways. If they fail to do so, then they're liable. Now, they have an inspection requirement, and depending on the prestige of the street, determines how often it's inspected. Like the hedgerow will be every 3 months, back alley in Armley, 12 months. If someone falls in April, the council may put forward an inspection record saying, we inspected this in January, it's not due for inspection until January, there's our defence. So we then have to argue against that.
How would you argue, clearly, if you have a client and you think they have a case and you are successful, you get paid, they get their compo, nobody's arguing with that. But how do you look at what that's costing a city council who might not be able to afford to maintain the highway the way they would like, and that's money that could be spent elsewhere? I mean...
Yeah, well, I would say I appreciate that, but that's really an issue that you need to take up with central government. If you have a statutory obligation to maintain the highway, you can't simply abrogate that responsibility by saying, sorry, we don't have any money. It would be if you... failed to insure your car.
There is money because you're paying out your clients who are successful in their case. They're having to find that money, aren't they?
Well, yes, but that is their responsibility and their obligation.
OK, and you still say no compo culture?
No, not to the point that we would be led to believe. As I say, no win, no fee seems to have picked up some kind of scurrilous overtones in recent years, but it basically means... if we don't do our jobs, we don't get paid.
All right. Mike, thank you. Nice to meet you.
And you. Thank you, Liz.
Mike Massen from Cohen Kramer Solicitors in Leeds.